Horses here, and good morning, Stephen A. How are you?
How y'all doing? I mean, I don't feel as guilty about not being in studio with y'all. I've been there for the last week and a half, not to mention the fact the weather in New York is pretty nice. So I'm sure that Wendy and Jay Will is going to be all right. I'm sure you can understand why I left town.
Right. Yes, to his undisclosed location. But that's okay, Stephen A. We're going to
see that boat behind us.
Yeah, right. I don't think it moves, though, the boat. I think it just stays put where it is. We are
That's just in the picture.
That's right.
Boats do usually move.
We are officially one day away from the NBA draft, which we are going to turn our attention to a little bit later on. In the meantime, what we are officially on is Giannis watch, because Giannis Antetokounmpo is expected to be traded prior to the draft, so we find ourselves officially on Giannis watch. We'll wait for a Shams report here at any minute. Bucks co-owner Jimmy Haslam said in early May he would like to have Giannis's future sorted out by the NBA draft, which again is tomorrow. Here's Shams Charania earlier on Get Up on where this all stands.
Sources tell me a trade and a resolution is coming for the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo before the NBA draft on Tuesday night. The Bucks are in serious conversations with two finalists, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Both teams are Giannis's preferred trade destinations, but both of these packages are different deals. The variance of these deals is dramatic. With Boston, it's Jaylen Brown-led package. It's around a veteran player, obviously a superstar caliber player. In Miami, it's a group of cost-controlled players, rookie-scale contracts, significant draft capital in that deal.
All right, I don't know it's necessarily surprising that it's coming down to these two teams, but now it's a little more officially official. And so, Wendy, I go to you first. What do you make of it coming down to both the Celtics?
I think the important thing that's happened, Shay, is that the Celtics have decided that they're going to make a change. Jaylen Brown is in this deal on offer, might be a buck within 12 hours or so. I think they were riding the fence for a while. They were careful that they wanted the word offer out there. That's moved on. Jaylen Brown, the Celtics, I think, at the end of the day, have reached the conclusion that they are not good enough with where they were. They believe internally they didn't lose in the first round to Philly because Jason Tatum got hurt. They believe they lost because they weren't good enough. And I think they believe that if they had gotten to the next round against the Knicks, that they were not good enough to beat the Knicks and would not have been good enough to get out of the East or win the finals. And so they are aggressive looking to make a change. And I believe if the Bucks choose the Miami Heat offer, Jaylen Brown will get traded somewhere else. They are going to move on here. That said, an offer that includes Jaylen Brown, and from what I understand, are other assets in this deal, potentially including the 27th pick in tomorrow night's draft, and potentially other things that the Celtics have either in their draft pick stable or on their roster, that's a very compelling offer. Mm-hmm. And I understand that the initial response is going to be, well, what does Jaylen Brown think about this? From what I understand, Jaylen Brown is accepting this and realizes this is a chance to turn the page in his career and that he may be getting his own team, which is something that he has thought about for some time. Now, they could go with Miami. They could go with Miami offer, but to me, the Celtics fallout from this is what's compelling this morning.
You know, to me, it's fair to say all of us and a lot of friends of mine, there's a little bit of Giannis fatigue because we've been talking about this for a while now, right? And it finally feels like we're here where a decision has to be met. I remember it was a year ago, I was saying on our network, I was like, does anybody find it interesting that Giannis goes on vacation in Times Square in New York and just walks around with his kid, or goes out to the Bay Area? And in my brain, I'm saying, oh, this is somebody kind of like feeling it out on what this is. And to me, that kind of gave me inclination that he didn't want to be in Milwaukee. And he was visibly showing it on his vacations, walking around places that people just don't go for vacation. But Giannis, 6'10", 6'11", was walking around Midtown or walking around the Bay Area, right? And allowing you to put two and two together. So for me, it comes down to Miami, Boston. I've said this from the beginning when I threw out the Boston scenario. I agree with you, Wendy. The Jaylen Brown stuff has been festering for a while. Mm-hmm. Fans want to make it out to be the media. It's not the media. It's about the redundancy between the way they play and about the franchise believing in Jason Tatum and believing in Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown believing that they didn't believe in him the same way they believed in Jason Tatum. And that spills over time, even after you win the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, even after you win the World Championship, you win the Finals MVP, you're still seeing remnants of it when he says it's been the greatest year of his career after they lose, right, to a team they should have beat. So to me, I still think Boston makes the most sense, but this comes down to, is Miami willing to mortgage their future And if Miami gives up everything that they have in their drawer, Wendy, then it may be the right thing for the Bucks. But if they're not willing to overgive and they value the future of their franchise, then I think that allows a team like Boston to sneak in. Crazy, I'm saying sneak in with the Jaylen Brown-like trade, but yes, that's what happens. They'll be there knocking at the door ready.
Well, a couple of things to get out of the way. Number one, I would love to see him in Miami, but only if he was playing with Bam Adebayo and at least, and possibly Tyler Hero, which is highly unlikely. Because if you make a deal for Giannis, you're going to have to give up one, if not both of those brothers to get Giannis. And I'm not sure that obviously works. So I get that part. But I would love to see him with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero with Eric Spoelstra coaching him, because I think that they would be very formidable, because Eric Spoelstra is a Hall of Fame coach. Let's get that out the way. We all know that, from a roster perspective, the Boston Celtics are the better fit in terms of immediate championship contention, et cetera, et cetera. Let's call it what it is, guys. When we talk about this deal, Wendy, Jay, involving the Boston Celtics, you're talking about Jaylen Brown. We gonna peel off. We gonna peel it off, and we gonna get right to it. This is what Jaylen Brown wanted. You got it. Jaylen Brown, from a talent perspective, Jaylen Brown has proven he's a number one. This brother was something special last year. He was an MVP candidate. We ain't taking nothing away from him. This brother was sensational last year when Jason Tatum was out. But we're going to go back to it, Jay, because I know you know the brother, and I know you know a lot about what's going on in the league, and of course you do too, Wendy. This is a man that is an NBA champion, that is an NBA Finals MVP, that is playing for the most storied franchise in basketball annals, accustomed to winning championships. He's played in 6 conference finals, and he got bounced out in the first round after losing a 3-1 lead to the Philadelphia 76ers with a hobbled Joel Embiid, and called it his favorite season. That's a big reason why this move potentially is being done. It's not the only reason. I won't insult basketball minds and acting like the Boston Celtics jacking up 53 three-pointers a game or whatever is going to cut it. They got to change their style of play, Jay. You're absolutely right. Style of play does matter. Realizing that that style of play isn't necessarily going to work, particularly against the Knicks with the Detroit Pistons coming with the belief that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be better. That's not going to cut it. We got that from a basketball perspective. But that is not the only reason that the Boston Celtics are considering making this move. They're considering making this move because they know that their number 2 or 1A, as we say, wants to be number 1. That's basically what he did. Jaylen Brown doesn't want to fess up to the fact that he told on himself. When you say getting bounced out in the first round of the playoffs and less than 24 hours after your season is over, when the city of Boston, of all places, not Memphis, not Utah, not Sacramento or something like that, Boston, when they are mourning your team going home in the first round, and you haven't even had an opportunity to pass gas, and you're saying that was your favorite season? Oh, that still sticks at the craw of Boston Celtics fans. They don't like something like that. Boston Celtics know it, but most importantly, Jason Tatum knows it. Now, Jason Tatum, from everything that I've been told, is not one to make a lot of noise. But Jay, Wendy, you know this. His family is. His team is. He ain't going to make the noise, but they make a whole lot of noise about stuff that they don't like if they don't like it. And make no mistake, the Boston Celtics belong to Jason Tatum. It's his team. This man is coming off of an Achilles tear, and they still ain't thinking about it. We ain't hearing his name in no trade offers. We ain't hearing about him. You know why? Because it's not just about his play on the court. It's about how he represents the fabric of the franchise. Jaylen Brown is a good dude. He is not a bad person. He's smart as hell. He's a good dude, high character, the whole bit. But he believes he should be a number 1. And when he said that that was my favorite season and most of it was played without Jason Tatum, that's what he was saying. Because he was that dude. And the team relied on him, no matter what he says. That's how it comes across.